Hey guys, I just wanted to take a few minutes and talk about something that I happened to observe today, and I just kind of wanted to bring a different maybe perspective to light to some of you guys. So today, I had to run over to Costco. Not my favoriteest place on earth because it tends to be relatively busy. So I try to always avoid going to Costco on the weekends. So here I am Monday thinking I'm good to go. I can run to Costco real quick. And I do have an office job where I'm in management, and so I do supply my facility with things to keep us running. And so that was my main objective in going to Costco today. And when I got there, I was shocked to see how many people were there. It was like mass crowds of people, and we always like to get there super early to try to avoid the crowds. And there was just so many people today, and I thought, okay, well, maybe more people are thinking like me and they're trying to avoid it on the weekends, right? And so as we continue shopping, I start to recognize that people are grabbing water and toilet paper, and the energy in Costco was so like panic. It was like panic, heavy. It just felt really I wanted to get out of there, to be honest with you. I just wanted to get out of there as fast as I could because it just felt very chaotic and everywhere. Just the energy was just not good. And it just continued to get crazier too. And I didn't understand what was going on. Like, why are all these people, every single cart had cases of water. They even had limits on how much water you were allowed to like take or buy or whatever. They had people were stocking up on toilet paper and paper towels and like all these things, and every single cart had the exact same thing. It was all toilet paper and water. And I'm like, what in the hell's going on? Like, I don't get it. Now, I have chosen to remove myself from media. I have, for myself, as I went on my spiritual path, I started to realize that the media outlet was very negative, and they only focus on the things that are negative. And so as I moved away from watching those type things, I noticed how much more freer I felt, how much more relaxed I felt. And, of course, the people that don't understand might give you some backlash and say, oh, well, you're just living in a fantasy world, in a bubble world. Well, so be it. But my bubble world is amazing, and I love it here. And so I still choose to remove myself from media type things, and I don't pay any attention to it. The media's job is to inform, right? But a lot of the times, and especially these days, it's turned into a way of them to conjure up some emotions within people. And a lot of the time, these emotions are panic and fear and worry and all these negative feelings that really don't give you a positive outlook on life or give you a good life in general if you're in those types of vibrations. So what I learned today while I was at Costco was I had to ask. At first, I talked to there was an elderly gentleman in front of me, and I just happened to ask him, I'm like, my gosh, it's busy in here. And I said, what is going on? Why is everybody, buying all these water bottles and toilet paper? Like, I don't understand. Like, what's going on? Did I miss the memo? And he said, oh, it's probably because of the coronavirus. And I'm like, seriously? I was like, the coronavirus? Like, what does this have to do with that? And he's like, I don't know. I guess people think they're going to run out or something. And I'm like, that is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. And I'm sure the media is behind it. And I happened to say to him, I was like, wow, the media really fucks people's minds up, doesn't it? And he and a few other people that were standing nearby me agreed. And I was like, wow, I just couldn't believe the chaos and commotion that one media outlet type thing has done, and the way that it spreads like wildfire. Let me try that again. It spreads like wildfire. It's crazy to me, but if you think about it, it's kind of like how you have those friends or those neighbors who are like the chatty ones or the gossipy ones in the area, and that if you go to them you'll get all the dirt. Well, that's pretty much media. Like, that's all they focus on is the dirt, and it's really, really disappointing and kind of sad. So my whole point in this video is to hopefully give you a different perspective and to help you not worry so much. Because first of all, we've had different epidemics happen before, and it's been swine flu, SARS, Zika virus. I mean, there's like millions and millions and millions. I'm sure there's like a whole bunch more that I'm forgetting about. But here's the thing. We need to remember that we all survived that. And this is just another thing with a new label on it. And it's really not that big of a deal unless you make it a big deal. If you choose to not make this a part of your life, it won't be a part of your life. And of course you need to do your due diligence by, being aware, aware of yourself. Your self-awareness is more key and important than anything, of course. Because of course you don't want to be coughing and touching people and, and sneezing on people. That's not very self-aware behavior. And so, of course, be aware of who you are, what you're doing, right? And how you're interacting with other people. But the power that we have here, we do have power here. And one thing, my first advice is get rid of watching the news. Just stop watching it, because it really is just going to cause you more stress. And stress, guess what, leads to disease and viruses and all that stuff, because your body can't heal itself if you're stressing it out. And if you're in a worried state, a stressed out state, panic and fear state, those low vibrational states, those are places that definitely something is going to follow, because whatever you expect to get out of your life is what the reflection will be back at you. So if you expect to have chaos and sicknesses in your life, then that's what's going to come into your existence. That's just how it works. The universe is here to expand upon whatever it is we focus our attention on. So if we decide to focus our attention on the viruses that, they say are so horrible and they're going to come and get us, then we're going to find those. Those will come for us, we'll find it. But if you choose to say, no, I'm going to be self-aware and take care of myself, so that way, those things aren't a part of my reality. Now, one thing that you can do is, of course, be in a positive mindset. Be grateful and gracious and loving towards others and patient. Being in love, the vibration of love and above, that is what we all want to shoot for. And if you picked up my new book, which is called Crystal Clear Enlightenment, that book is a book all about spiritual growth. And I talk about this in a chapter about creating your reality. And I also talk about the vibrational scale. We always want to shoot for love and above. That is what will help us be in a better way, which will help us help others. And so, how we react is where our power lies. So if we decide to jump on the bandwagon and be all crazy and chaotic and believe what we hear on the news, which I don't know why anyone would believe the stuff that they say. But they do, unfortunately. It's been ingrained in our beings, right? Ever since we were little, everybody watches the news and we just all believe what they're saying, because why would they lie to us, right? They do. Trust me. So again, just be loving towards others. Be gracious. Keep that positive mindset and be self-aware of what you're doing and your body and the stress that you're under. And if you do happen to find that you are a little bit stressed, there are some things you can do to combat that. So I'm also going to kind of talk a little bit about that, okay? So some of the things that you can do to help yourself reduce stress, and again, by reducing stress, we help our bodies stay in a better state of being. And therefore, we can't contract things into our existence that are of lower vibrations, like sickness and that sort of thing. So one way to reduce stress, of course, is meditation. Meditation is huge. It's a great way to quiet our mind and just reset. It's like a reset button. It's really beneficial. And if, you don't have to do meditation for, hours on end. You can literally get away with doing meditation for 5 minutes, and it's better than nothing at all. Again, in my book, Crystal Clear Enlightenment, I talk all about meditation and the benefits. And on top of that, if you go to my website, which is BMoonStruck.com, in the drop-down menu where it says more, I have a whole section of guided meditations that are free that you can try. And this is a great way to de-stress and kind of reboot and just let your mind shut down. You know, get rid of all the junk that you've heard on the news. This is the best way to do it. Is just let it go with the meditation, you know? So give one of those guided meditations a try if that's something that interests you. But that is one way that you can de-stress yourself. Another way is yoga, which is one of my personal favorites as well. I literally do yoga every single day. It's part of my practice and it has changed my life. And I really love yoga. It's super beneficial, not only for your body because you're exercising and moving, but it's also really good because for me, it really does kind of shut the mind down and you're just focused on your breathing and being more in tune with yourself. Yoga anyways translates into unity and oneness. So that's what it is. It's all about just connecting within all together as a whole, mind, body, spirit, and all that. So yoga is very beneficial. Another thing that you can do is pranayama, which is breathing techniques. There's all kinds of different breathing techniques that you can look up and do. And just a simple breathing technique would help reduce stress as well, especially if you're feeling a little bit amped up or anxious, you know, and that sort of thing. Just taking a few minutes to deep breaths and just let it go. And remember that you're the one who controls your reality. And however you react to a situation is what will come into your reality, right? Another thing that you can do is get out in nature. So being out in nature helps lower our stress levels. Hugging a tree, even better. That's another personal favorite of mine. You will see me at my local parks hugging trees all the time, or out in my front yard hugging my tree, because not only do I love trees and the benefits that they offer me, but it feels so good to feel so supportive, and you get that good, you know, release of good endorphins in your system, and it's just super stress relieving. So give it a try. And let's see, another thing, of course, is getting enough sleep. So sleep is really important. I think a lot of people think that, you know, sleep doesn't matter, but it matters a whole heck of a lot. If you aren't taking time to sleep, that is almost like, if you think about a computer and how you want to reset the computer and like let it sleep at night, right? Or your cell phones, you know, you want to turn them off. If you don't do that, with time, what ends up happening is it starts glitching out and you start having issues in the system, right? Well, guess what? Same thing with us. Our body needs that time to shut down and reboot and like let all the little software in our system get cleaned and let it be realigned. And that's what sleep helps with. So getting, you know, 7 to 8 hours of sleep every night is super beneficial. It will help reduce your stress. It'll help with anti-aging effects, all kinds of things. Your mind, it'll improve your mind and memory. So that's another beneficial thing. Another thing that you can do is work with different herbs. So one herb in particular that is my absolute favorite for dealing with stress or anxiety or depression is called ashwagandha. And I'll show you. We get ours at Sprouts. And let's see if you guys can see. So that is ashwagandha. So it's super beneficial. It's an adaptogen herb, which means it helps your body adapt and regulates your system within your body. And so if you're having stress, it's basically going to wipe it out. So ashwagandha is something that I always recommend to my clients and friends and family. It's very beneficial, and it's almost like a chill pill, right? So if you're feeling a little bit like worried about things going on in your environment or whatever, take some ashwagandha and see what it does for you. The good news is it's totally herbal. You know, it's not gonna, you know, harm you in any way. Of course, you know, I should mention that, you know, I am not a doctor. I am an herbalist, and, you know, of course you want to check what's best for you and what works for you. And it's always good to use this in complement. Let's try that again. It's always good to use this in conjunction with Western medicine. Anything that I might recommend, you know, if you need other things that Western medicine offers you, then go for it. My approach is more Eastern, and so that's what I kind of gear my things towards, but it's good to use them together. They come together and complement each other very well. So other things that I could mention, if you are super stressed out, crystals are very beneficial to help you as well. One of my favorite crystals is called Lepidolite. I'm looking around to see if I have any extra close nearby, but I don't. I put it upstairs, I believe. Oh, I found one. Hold on one second. So let me show you guys Lepidolite. So this is Lepidolite. Okay, so that is Lepidolite. It's like this really pretty, like purpley, sheeny, silvery, grayishy color. It's beautiful. But Lepidolite is awesome for stress relief. If you are anxious, suffer from anxiety and that sort of thing, depression, this is the go-to. Lepidolite is amazing. Anytime I'm feeling a little overstressed or something or worried about something, Lepidolite is my go-to crystal. So that is one that is super beneficial, especially if you're worried about your environment and things going on. This is a great one to kind of like let you know that it's okay. You're supported. You're taken care of. Lepidolite's got your back. Okay? So anyways, I just wanted to leave everyone with the message of, you know, that you create your reality. Don't let what other people on the news have to say about it. Their job is to create chaos. And again, going back to Costco, I said to the employee there, I was like, wow, you guys are so busy. And he's like, yeah, we were on the news. Of course, we were on the news because the lines wrapped around all the way to the back of the store. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. And he's like, I know, right? And I go, but wow, great for business. I mean, that is their job, right? The media's job is to get you amped up, and they're doing a great job at it. They did it, right? They got all these people to Costco and they're spending all this money on water and toilet paper, and it doesn't make any sense to me. Like, what makes you think that we're going to run out of water and toilet paper? The only thing that my husband came up with in regards to that is he thought that maybe people just don't want to get out of their houses and they're going to be like kind of cooped up in their houses and they're wanting to stay inside. So I get that aspect of it, but honestly, like, don't let fear dictate your life. You know, honestly, more people die from other things, regular flu, than they do the coronavirus. And most people that are, you know, contracting it and, you know, having their ending of their life to it is just because they had compromised immune systems anyways. So there's lots of bits and pieces to it. So don't believe everything you hear on the news or some of the posts you might see. You know, again, choose what reality you want to live in. What puddle do you want to play in? Do you want to play in the crazy chaotic puddle, or do you want to play in a puddle of love and peace and happiness? I choose the happy puddle. So anyways, just wanted to share that little message. So I hopefully give you a different mindset on this whole thing. And, you know, I just want to, of course, remind you that you are magical and you can create anything for yourself. So make it happen. And as always, if you have questions, please feel free to contact me. I would love to talk to you. Other ways that you can help de-stress are things like crystal healing sessions, sound baths, and that. And I do offer those things, so you can check those out. But, you know, I'm just here to help people empower themselves. And that's why I wanted to make this video, to help you be in control, because you have all the control here. Don't let what other people say, you know, tell you otherwise. All right. That's it for me. And until then, until next time, I'm sending you light, loves, and lunar hugs. Have a magical day. Mwah. Bye, everybody. See you next time.